If I were you, I'd be offended that blacks hate themselves so much that they try to negate themselves. They try to destroy that which they are. You're described by the color of your skin, and you're trying to remove the color. The black woman in America is completely brainless. Largely, right? Largely. Completely brainless. And in her psychosis, she emulates the white woman, blonde hair, all this face paint, which doesn't make sense for people with brown skin. I mean, look at my skin right now. If you're watching this, look at my skin. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, darling. I don't need any makeup or enhancement. I'm perfect. Ha ha. Pish posh. Please stop. You're completely deluded. Like you're mad in the British sense. You're mad, darling. You're mad. So the point is, you have brown skin. Your skin doesn't show blemish. You're blessed. You don't need makeup. What are we doing here? Now, if you maybe have very pale skin, your skin easily shows blemish. So you might want to take some corrective action. I don't recommend it. I say, hey, be yourself. But they put on all this face paint following after the white woman. Then they put on red lipstick, which doesn't make sense for dark persons because your lips are too dark. That is not ever going to show red, which is a blushing kind of experience in the lip with blood coming to the lips, showing arousal. And this is what the white harlots do to basically create wickedness and distraction in the land. Okay. Now, I say all that to say this broad is trying to emulate the features of the white harlot. The white harlot is what she's imitating. And it's quite disgusting when you observe the African do it because the black woman in America, her goddess is right. It's proximate. The goddess to the black woman is very nearby. Oh, there's Kelly right there. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Kelly. Like you can go into Starbucks. Hey, Sarah. And like they can even interact with their white goddess ideal. But you black women in Africa, you guys are in like are white women in the jungles? Like, are they in the jungles like that? They're not in the jungles, right? No, I don't think so. So like you're in your jungles and there's no white women around. You're in your hut. There's no white women in there. So I guess you're watching Instagram or TV or what have you. And then you see your white goddess and then you try to imitate her. But because you're a poor African, you do a bad. The black women do a horrible job at it because it's impossible to be something you're not. That's impossible. So the black American woman does a horrible job at it, but she at least has a close model to follow. And you Africans, like way from your huts and your jungles, you're looking on your mobile phones and you're trying to imitate this white ideal. And then you just are even more extreme. Like you see her face is wholly covered in paint. No bit of her actual skin or skin color is present. She tries to slim the nose such that the nose looks like a white woman's nose. It's as a more narrow nose bridge. Now, here's the funny thing. Europeans, they don't, some of them are good looking, some of them are not. A lot of them will have the nose will shoot straight down from the brow, which is, I don't think to me, that's not an attractive feature. Like, I don't find that to be attractive. But they do have more narrow nose bridges. And so this chick is trying to imitate that. And they use the coloration of the paints on their face to create illusions. And so then you have the blonde hair. And it's not a chance you're fooling us on the blonde hair, love, because most white people don't even have blonde hair. So how did your blacks have blonde hair? Most whites don't have blonde hair. You black rascal. In the hearts of the jungle, the desert safaris, living next to cheetahs and crocodiles and rhinos and hippopotamus, which is actually a very ornery, dangerous animal. The hippopotamus has a very positive reputation in American popular media, like cartoons. Cartoons, they seem like very friendly, easygoing, creatures. But it turns out the hippopotamus is a very ornery animal. It takes out a lot of people. But anyways, you're next to your hippopotami and your baboons and your monkeys, and you're living amongst them in harmony, just like the Lion King movie, and trying to look like white women. And it's pretty crazy because you look like a psychopath and everything about you is faker than every other woman on earth to the nth degree. And because you're in poverty, you you tend to use like the cheapest, most low quality version to imitate them. Like I've seen some bad wigs in my day. If you've ever been to Baltimore, Maryland, no disrespect, because those girls out there, they shooters. You hear me? I never seen a female with tattooed tears before I got to Baltimore, Maryland, man. Them chicks is gutter out there. You hear me? Now, they're not more gutter than the Atlanta chicks in terms of promiscuity, but in terms of gangsterism, they're definitely more gutter. You get bodied by a broad in Baltimore in a real way. But anyways, them Baltimore girls are gutter. And I've seen some of the worst lace fronts, some of the worst sew-in wigs you'd ever want to see in your entire life. Like, you could see the glue and everything. It's just horrendous. It's a real travesty. But if you go to Africa, just imagine mixing a brainless black female, brainless black human female, with more poverty than they have in America, higher levels of lack of education, higher levels of inferiority, and they don't even have a nearby white woman to emulate, to really know what white women look like in real life, right? Man, I've seen some of the most evil wigs on earth in Africa. I'm like, what is that? Because, like black women, I think they use the hair from a horse's butt. The women in Africa, I think they like use the hair from like a wildebeest butt, or what was that animal with the Lion King, Timon and Pumbaa? Wild boar. Them African broads is capturing wild boars and using the wild boar hair for their wigs. It's ridiculous. So they just look completely ragged, like extraordinarily ragged. So let's look at some of them and let's figure out, well, what is it like to date one of these African rascals? Okay. And you might be listening like, Marquett, you're a racist. You black, ain't you black? Well, you know what, man? I am clearly black. One of the best among us, but damn it, I ain't that kind of black. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't that kind of black. It's a little different on this side, you dig? But check this out. Now let's look at these African African thoughts. If she's not a thought, I'm not black. Okay. If she's not a thought, I'm not a Negro. Carrying on. And I want to go down to the bottom, and we're going to take a little bit of a study here. Bear with me. Now, look at this rascal. And she is I can't even say the word. She's a woman who earns her money while laying down. She's a woman who earns her money the hard way. She's a woman who earns her money horizontally. She is a woman who follows holosophy. She is a woman who walks the blade to get paid, if you know what I mean. Okay. And this is not unusual in the continent of Africa. Africa. I wish I had a sound effect like on my soundboard. You seen Lion King, right? You know the beginning when Rafiki was like, Sun Sin Sin Da. Shout out to Rafiki. Hey, are there any Africans in the chat? Have y'all actually seen Lion King? Is it fire or is it not fire? Because I think it's fire. I just want to know what y'all think. I think it's fire. Let me know. Anyways, here we go. So I want you to first notice how ragged this broad looks. And look at that forehead. Look at that forehead. That forehead is endless. If you're in East Africa, you have a forehead. Forehead. Look, I'm sorry. Anyways, her forehead is massive, which is fine. They get like that. You heard me? Shout out to my Somalis. I think they won the forehead award of the year. Actually, of the centuries. They foreheads for, man. You know what? You don't want to get headbutted by a Somali. You do. Matter of fact, that's what the Somalis need to do. They all need to go into MMA and just headbutt their way to victory. I just found a way for them to make millions and millions of dollars. I hope somebody sends me a thank you note. I really do. Anyways, let me enlarge this chick as though I need to enlarge his forehead. But anyways, look at her. Her forehead is so big, her hairline starts way back here. And then you see she got them big black smoker lips. See, back in the day in the hood, we used to think that your lips turn black if you smoke. If you smoke Bing Bings, you smoke Black and Miles. Do people's lips turn black, like darker if they smoke? Oh, that's a real thing. Well, maybe Shorty is a smoker, but I think she's just an African. Certain things is just Africans, Hakuna Matata, that's African. Having yellow eyes, that's African. You might be like, Marquett, what the hell you mean yellow eyes? Nigga, you know what I mean? Eyes be all jaundice and shit. Like, where's white is always yellow. You be like, bro, like, what is going on? And how come flies keep landing on your eye and you ain't even blinking or bothered by it? This is concerning. Very concerning. And if I sleep with you, am I going to die? She's like, I don't have AIDS. I know, but your eyes is yellow. What does that mean? I've never seen that before. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, she got some black ass lips. So look at these lips. Very black. But her skin, somehow, your lips are that black, but somehow your skin is faded pale. How's that work? No, really, how does that work? Marquett, she's lighter than you, Marquett. You're a black American. She's lighter than you. Your lips are not as dark as hers. Oh, that must be the chemicals. That must be the chemicals she's using. And you guys might be thinking, Marquett, what's wrong with you? You sick bastard. You sick bastard. You sound like a racist white supremacist, Marquett. Well, whatever it takes to shock you imbeciles out of your mental lethargy, whatever it takes. Humor, satire, insults, offense. I'm offended. I bet you are offended. If I was you, I'd be offended that 8% of the population in South Africa is still controlling 90% of the wealth. If I were you, I'd be offended that blacks hate themselves so much that they try to negate themselves. They try to destroy that which they are. You're described by the color of your skin and you're trying to remove the color. Yes, that should get you madder than what I'm saying. So let's talk about it. Bro, with these black lips. And then does she wear her natural hair color? Nope. She then bleaches it blonde and then has the nerve further to try to look like the Caucasian and pull her hair into a bun or ponytail. It doesn't even look right. It looks terrible. It'll never, ever, ever, ever look as bad as this. You filthy bed wench Jezebel, disgusting pig. It'll never look as bad as that. But it still doesn't look good. Whatever happened to a natural afro? Just get you a little pick, put some. I remember I was watching Coming to America. I learned a lot about Africa. They was like, what do you put in your hair, Eddie? What do you put in your hair? It's like, I just put in my hair. I put in natural berries. I crush up some berries. I put them in my hair. Berries, just berries from my jungle. Like, why don't they just put some berries in their hair and just pick it out? Just pick it out. Why not? I got to do all this extra stuff. But anyways, this girl with these big black lips, faded eyebrows, receding hairline, they ain't gonna have the nerve to bleach her hair blonde. Good Lord, what does the world come to? And I want you guys to notice something. Okay? Notice this. Keep your eyes open. So this woman, by all measures, is in poverty. One, she's in a poor country, and she's black. They're all poor. And she's in a poor country. So she's a poor woman in a poor country. And she's not getting any real views on YouTube. This is 3 years ago. And she has 1K views. That's 3 years ago. She's not doing any real views. Most of her videos are in the hundreds of views range, right? Oh, and by the way, you can tell that she's destroyed her natural hair from all these products. You can look and see on the side, like she's missing hair on the side. And this happens to a lot of black women. They're missing hair right here. So they were like, all of this is bald. All this is bald. Where your hair at? It's bald. It's gone. So all of this hair, it's left the building. All of that right there, boom, boom, boom. That's gone. Which is amazing because the human hair is usually strongest on the sides, but those chemicals are stronger and they're very damaging. So she's lost all of that hair on the side. And it's funny because these goofball broads damage their scalp and their hair with these chemicals, and the hair will never return. And then now they feel like they're forced to wear a wig. Now, you're never forced to wear a wig, shorty, but they feel like they're forced to wear a wig. But anyways, you can see the poverty in the background of her recordings, utter poverty, right? So then she figures out what most women figure out. You know what? No need to be broke when my ass is this fat. You heard me? She figured out what most of these thoughts figure out. No need to be in poverty when my booty jiggle like this right here. So she decides to start showing her body, and all of these upright African men that we hear like, in Africa, the women, they follow us. No, they don't, bro. Y'all niggas frail as hell any damn ways. These fat hoes probably not young. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. So we see she's in poverty. And we see right here, she like shops at like a day in the life of a shop attendant. So just 2 years ago, She was a shop attendant. That was her job, shop attendant. Now, if you're in America as a shop attendant, you broke. If you're in Africa, Akuna Matata, such a wonderful phrase. If you're in Africa, then you're for sure broke, especially as a shop attendant. So how is it you go from an impoverished shop attendant with this horrible receding hairline because you're using these cheap chemicals, and then all of a sudden you see her content changes in nature. Oh, now she's in the dresses and the short skirts. You in them short skirts. You in them dresses. You in them tight jeans. And then she goes from starting to show more of her body. And then it seems like all of a sudden she has more money to travel. Now we're going traveling now. Is that because her views went up? Nope. Look at these views. She has 272 views here, 300 views here, 700 views there. That's because she started selling that cooter cat. She was selling that dirty cat, el gato. She started slanging it. So all of a sudden she got her a little bit of money. She getting out in the world with her thick self, and she's recording it, still trying to become an influencer, except nobody cares. So then she says, let me show more of my body. Let's put it in the thumbnail. Bikini thumbnail. Now we have 5,000 views. That was a year ago, so still not a ton, but a lot more than she was doing, right? Now, all of a sudden, her wig game has improved. Look, she got a whole wig, but it's still an African style wig. And what I mean by an African style wig is that it looks terrible and completely unrealistic. It looks more like a beanie of some sort. It looks like a furry beanie. These African wigs are something terrible. It's funny how she writes, get to know me, Q&A, Kenyan YouTuber. Like, you interviewed yourself? You're a doofus. You literally said, get to know me, and did an interview with yourself. You're a real narcissistic doofus. Call yourself a Kenyan YouTuber. You're not a YouTuber when you're not getting any views. You just up recording yourself. That's all you are. Like, anyone can record themselves. All right. The narcissism is just extraordinary. So now she's doing more and more traveling, but she's still just a shop attendant in a poor country. So she has a low-income job in a poor country, but all of a sudden she can afford to travel when she starts showing her body. Why? Because tricks are pouring into her DMs, and she's taking the money and she's giving in exchange. Punani. No condom, you pay extra. No condom, you pay extra. Yep, that's what it is. And I know for a physac. So then, she's like, let me show my body again. Maybe that'll work. So check this out. We see right here, she has 400 views and she has 900 views. Then she has the picture, the thumbnail with 4 bikini pics, got 89,000 views. And you know what? You guys have been rewarding her horrific conduct. Shame on you, rascal. Shame on you. I wish you were as strong as I am. She offered me the punani and I refused it. I said, I'll spit in your face. I spit in your face. I pity the fool. I was like, Mr. T, pity the fool. I pity the fool. Anyway, so then there's more travel. All of a sudden she can afford to travel. And it's not from revenue on YouTube because she's not getting any revenue on YouTube. Look at this. 600 views, 500 views. She's not getting no revenue. Yeah, she's getting pipe. Now, you might be asking yourself, Marquett, is she thick? Sir, yes, she is thick. She's absolutely thick. And that's why she's getting pay. But I want to show you guys a little bit more about the lifestyle that these African women engage in many of these countries. Okay? I want to show you that. And look at bro right here. Bro over here, like he Mr. Factual. He writes, I'm just saying she has a following outside of YouTube. This is a trick right here, bro. You blocked. Get up out of here. I hate tricks. I really do. I hate tricks. And bro's a fan. He's a fan. This bro, he over here checking all of her stuff. Like, this is the kind of guy that's creating this sick world. Get out. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. This is the kind of guy, if you were here in person, I have my team beat you up and throw you outside. You dig? Sideways. Boom. Throw him out like garbage. Anyways, that was a trick, by the way. And I revile simps. I say beat up simps. You heard me? Yeah, eliminate them. They're part of the problem. Back to this thought. Shorty, ugly in the face, but she thicker than a Snicker. Boy, probably got all kind of diseases too, because she's an actual prostitute. But anyway, she's turbo thick. And that's how she's earning her money, is selling that butt, selling that booty cheek. But, basically this is them trying to be like us. You know, this is them trying to imitate us, you know, in the club with the VIP. So basically, she's in an African country trying to like act like an Atlanta thought. You feel me? So she's just doing the low budget version of Atlanta thoughtnometry, thoughtology.
He looked at his thougtometer. He's like, oh, you ranked very high on the thougtometer. I can't know. You're off the scales. You're in the red zone. The thougtometer is about to break. I can't fuck with you.
But here's the thing, though. I tell you what I never do. You never see me in a comment talking about, hey, beautiful, you look great. Like, nah, none of that. That's all out. I ain't giving no praise to these thoughts. Absolutely not. And here's the difference. If you give her praise, you just some sucker. If I give her praise, like I probably got action. You hear me? I probably could slide, but I still ain't giving it up. No, sir, Bob. I despise these thoughts. I never double tap their photos. I never click like. I don't friend them. I don't follow them. I don't do nothing except try to smash. You hear me? And then I get real disrespectful ASAP. God didn't bless you with brain, but you bless me with some brain, though. You hear me? It's funny how that work out. You know, God didn't give you intelligence, but he sure as hell did give you some other assets. So cheers to these thoughts, man. Basically, a passport bro is a guy that can't get what he wants in America. That's pretty much what that is. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't go around the planet Earth slaying some of these bad broads. I absolutely do. But would I call myself a passport bro? Absolutely not. I'm just a super player. You dig? I'm just doing what I do in America in other countries. But the thing is about the passport bros is they're doing in other countries what they could never do in America. Ooh, game time. Bars. They're doing in other countries what they could never do in America. I do in other countries what I do on a regular basis in America. You dig? I'm the big homie. Your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber. The warrior king of this YouTube thing. Attila the Hun. Kent Drippy Jr., Flex Luthor, Devon Gotti. Anyways, I'm out this bill. I'm out.